Welcome to AAS Live, a new live show we're doing for the American Association of Singapore. The American Association brings the American community together in Singapore, and we support all nationalities in Singapore. We do things like events for family and adults. We have networking and career development. And one of the events that we didn't get to do because of COVID restrictions was the burger crawl. And Friday is National Cheeseburger Day in America and probably elsewhere in the world, so maybe Singapore too. So we're going to talk to a chef today about the best cheeseburger and how to make it. So I'm going to bring on Kasey Roberts from Tadcaster Hospitality. Let's bring on Kasey. Hi, Kasey.
Hi, Andrea.
Thanks so much. Good. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
I'm not sure if you knew the history of the cheeseburger. We believe it was invented in the United States in the 1920s and 30s, and there's 4 states that take credit. Connecticut, which is my home state. Kentucky, which is where Chris, my husband, went to school.
Yes.
Colorado, which I didn't think was a big restaurant place back in the 20s and 30s. And then California, of course, is big for lots of burger restaurants. But
Absolutely.
let's talk about the burgers that you guys make. So tell us about what you do for Tadcaster.
I am the group executive chef for Tadcaster Hospitality. We have 6 venues in Singapore, and it's a range of family restaurants at the Cafe Melba's. We've got 2 Cafe Melba's, which is very family friendly. We do very good burgers there as well, salads and sandwiches. We have DQ Bar, which is a nice inner city bar along the waterfront there. We've got Molly Malone's, which is Singapore's oldest Irish pub. Fantastic fish and chips and burgers as well. We also have Bull and Bear, which is in Fiery Square, which is a good for sports when we can show sports. And we have the Exchange in Asia Square. We are pretty, a diverse company in what we kind of do actually. So it's a lot of fun.
I can tell everyone out there watching that I've been to all of those locations and I've eaten at all of them. And I know Kasey knows what he's doing because I've seen him on videos butchering meat. So I wanted to bring Kasey on talking about burgers, and let's talk about cheeseburgers. So what do you need to make the best cheeseburger, Kasey?
Well, for us, how we make our cheeseburgers, we use ground Wagyu beef, which has a slightly higher fat content in it, and we ground up the beef and add the mince in there, and then we kind of roll them out and weigh them to around about 200 grams, 180 to 200 grams. So you've got to start with good quality beef. Is always a must. There's a lot of different burgers that you go out to different restaurants that I've been, and they're just not very flavorful at all. So we take pride.
We are really proud of our USDA beef too. But it's nice to be in the part of the world that has Wagyu as well. That's really special.
Yeah, that's right. All of our beef is from Australia, which is all 100% grain-fed beef. So it comes from a great farm, which is open space, and that's always a good start to your burger. We also have homemade brioche buns, which are a homemade kind of butter roll. It's a lot more kind of richer than your everyday type of burger bun. On top of that, then we toast the buns just to get started, and we always use our char grills for our burgers. So you get that nice flavor within the burger there. So we pretty much get that sealed off, and then we heat up our burger buns. Always toast them, which is the best bit, because you've probably had a burger before where it's always soggy, and that's because they haven't toasted the bun properly or put the tomato on. Once we toast it off, then we'll put a bit of mayonnaise on the base of the toasted brioche bun, and then we'll add some romaine lettuce on top of that, and some seasoned tomatoes, and then we'll put our flame grilled burger on top of that. But we always put like a good layer of cheddar cheese on top of that, and it's then we grill that under our salamander, and just to that just melts over that Wagyu burger patty, and then you assemble your burger, putting it all together. your bun, your lettuce, your tomato, your burger, your cheese. You put that on top, and then once you take a decent bite out of it, it's just full of flavor. And we have people that just come back to say Bull and Bear and Molly's just for the burgers. You can't go wrong with a decent pint and a burger for a lunch, which is great. So the cheese definitely gives it a sharper and bolder flavor using the cheddar cheese, which is it works really well with the beef.
I was going to ask a little bit more about cheese, because cheeseburgers and hamburgers have gotten really fancy over the years, like for the past 10 years plus. What about using different kinds of cheese? I personally like cheddar. American cheese is a popular one for a lot of American burger, cookouts. But what other cheeses work with a cheeseburger?
You can use mozzarella cheese as well. That's a lot more stringier and not as not a strong flavor. But my children, they'll like Edam cheese because it's a little bit more mild, or mozzarella, because I put cheddar on there and they're like, oh, it's a bit too strong, Dad. My wife and I will eat it, but for the kids, definitely we use mozzarella. We also use what else we got there? The Emmentaler cheese as well. So there's different varieties of cheeses that are kind of more milder flavor, which you can kind of use as well as if you don't like cheddar. It's more of a personal preference, I think.
Mm-hmm. How about the toppings for a cheeseburger? Do you have, there's the basic lettuce, tomato, onion, but is there any kind of variation that maybe people could try that would work with cheese?
Yeah, you've definitely got to have your caramelized onions on there, which is an absolute, I love caramelized onions on the burgers. We also have in our places, we also have the option to build your own burger. So you've got your standard burger that comes, but then you've got add-ons and additionals like fried egg, gherkins or pickles. You've also got beetroot. In New Zealand, we have a famous burger called the Kiwi burger, which is, your beetroot, your pineapple, your fried egg, your fried onions, all on top of that, and that's like our version of the big whopper on that.
I was thinking of the beetroot and the pineapple because I've seen it at the Melba restaurants, and how different that might be to Americans who are new to Singapore or never been to New Zealand.
My friends that are American, it's just like the Hawaiian pizza. They're like, who puts the pineapple on a pizza? I was like, it tastes really good though. And it is a personal preference, and a lot of the guys and ladies that come down for our burgers, they have a bit of fun because you can also add mushrooms and things on there, and they just kind of add everything on there. And they do a bit of a challenge of it, which is always a bit of entertainment.
Well, I think with the American Association, we'll say all burgers welcome, and we'll just have every different style. How about condiments? There's a lot of discussion about the type of condiments you should maybe want to try something new. The standard being mustard and ketchup, mostly ketchup. What else? What else?
Those are definitely your standard, your toppings and your condiments. But we also use like a tomato relish on there as well. So it's not as sweet as ketchup, and it's got kind of finely chopped white onion in there, and it's got like chopped up pickles, and it's got capers on there as well, and it gives it a little bit more of a not as rich or sweet kind of topping on there as well. With our condiments, it's very similar to the toppings. It's kind of add on your own whatever you like, and it is a personal preference on there on what toppings you like. My kids also like mayonnaise on the burger as well, or seeded mustard on there as well, which is also nice. And I think it is a personal preference on what kind of toppings you like.
Well, there's certainly a lot of different options here. And I wanted to ask you, so that's our perfect burger. I think we've got all the ingredients covered, the bread and the cheese. Yep, very good. How about how to cook the burger? I think people maybe don't do it right. Medium? Do you cook it at high heat? Do you bake it? What do you recommend?
Well, we season, like even at home, for example, what we do, and it's probably the most easiest thing to do at home, like because everyone doesn't have access to a char grill at home like we do in the restaurants. What we always do is, like, once your burger patty's made, and you've always got to start with your good quality beef as well. Season it with like freshly cracked pepper and sea salt on there, and season both sides, and then add a little bit of oil onto that. and then make sure you've got your skillet or your pan. It's like at a medium to high temperature, and then you seal it. You don't really want, once you've got it into the pan and it's sizzling, you don't really want to move it around too much, because that it'll just break up a lot more. And then once you've got a nice seal on there, which is probably around 3.5 to 4 minutes on one side, then you obviously get your spatula and you flip it over, and then you continue that for another 3.5 to 4 minutes. You'll see all the juices and stuff coming out, and then at about that stage, you're at about medium to, about medium that you're at. And then what we do as well is just get like a little rack, and you put that on top of a plate, and then you put your burger patty to rest, and you let it rest for at least another 2 to 3 minutes, and it continues cooking after that, but all the juices kind of come out of it as well, and you get a lot more flavorful burger with that. If you kind of cook it straight away and put it into your burger bun, you've got blood that's coming out, and it'll end up not as crispy, or like your bun will get really, really soft and doesn't taste as good.
I'm going to get really specific on the cooking, because I'm super interested in using a fry pan or a grill pan.
Like we use a fry pan at home, so we've got the cast iron fry pans, because they hold the heat a lot better. You can use a non-stick pan as well, and once you've got it cooked, once you've got it cooked, you take your burger patty out, and that's when we add like our thinly sliced onions into that pan, because you've got all the juices in there as well, and you're just getting all that flavor in there as well. But definitely for us at home, we use the cast iron pan. That's my favorite, and it's easy to clean as well.
Always good to have to worry about the cleanup, and we've got that part too. We've got the cooking, prepping the cooking, and the cleaning.
Yes.
Kasey, I'm hoping that when we start, hopefully with some eased restrictions, we can do a burger crawl, and maybe we can join you at one of the Tadcaster restaurants.
That would be an absolute pleasure.
Where can people go at a Tadcaster place to get your top burger, your most popular burger?
I reckon it's if you're in the CBD area, it's definitely Bull and Bear and Molly Malone's, which is, they're not very far from each other, which is kind of good. They're definitely a couple of the favorites. The Exchange also does great burgers, and so does the Cafe Melba's. We do one kind of standard burger in all of the outlets, and then you can customize your own ones there. But those are definitely my recommendations.
Great. Kasey, thanks so much for taking the time to help us put together the best cheeseburger for Cheeseburger Day, Friday, September 18th. And we'll look forward to seeing you at Tadcaster restaurants soon. Thank you so much,
Andrea. Take care, and thank you very much for your time. Stay safe.
Bye-bye. There you go. Best cheeseburger for National Cheeseburger Day. Thanks so much to Kasey from Tadcaster Hospitality. And I can tell you, as I said, I go to all those restaurants, and cafe is great. For here below has the website. And we look forward to seeing you again on